For over 100 years, the state of New York made it a crime to possess a firearm without a license, whether inside or outside the home. An individual who wanted to carry a firearm outside their home could obtain an unrestricted license to have and carry a concealed pistol or revolver by proving that proper cause exists for doing so. An applicant satisfied the proper cause requirement only by demonstrating a special need for self-protection, distinguishable from that of the general community. On June 23, 2022, Associate Justice Clarence Thomas, speaking for the Supreme Court in a 63-page opinion, declared New York's gun law unconstitutional as violating the Second Amendment to the Constitution. Remember, the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. How would an actual conservative interpret the Second Amendment? Giving every word some meaning would seem necessary. Do that, and you would and should conclude that keeping and bearing arms has something to do with service in the militia, what we now call the National Guard. So if you were in the Guard, you can get to have a gun for use in that service. Thomas, however, says National Guard service is completely irrelevant, and the amendment allows everyone to have a gun for self-defense. How a so-called conservative can simply read the word militia out of the amendment is ridiculous, to say the least. Furthermore, self-defense is an expression that is nowhere in the Second Amendment. So-called conservatives like Thomas just made it up. Quite a stretch from defending the country and the militia to defending yourself, don't you think? Then Thomas has the nerve to say when the Second Amendment's plain text covers individuals' conduct, the Constitution presumptively protects that conduct. The government must then justify its regulation by demonstrating that it is consistent with the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation. Only then may a court conclude that the individual's conduct falls outside the Second Amendment's unqualified command. Wow. Suddenly, gun-toting for self-defense has fallen within the plain text of the Second Amendment, but only presumptively. How did presumptively get in there? That word isn't in the amendment either. Thomas just made it up. It gets worse. Thomas says the plain text can be disregarded if the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation contradicts it. Now, a true conservative would not let history trump the Constitution. If anything, constitutions are written to override historical tradition. And if the founders had thought otherwise, wouldn't they have added a sentence to the Constitution saying, if anything in this document contravenes historical tradition, kindly disregard it as written in ignorance? Folks, Clarence Thomas and his buddies aren't conservatives. They are phonies and ideologues. No wonder it took 63 pages to come up with their rubbish.